Today we give you a once-in-a-lifetime experience on the African continent by taking you to a hotel built into a Boeing 737. And we also take you on a trip along the Panorama route right here in Mpumalanga. Hello and welcome to another episode of Shepherd Surfer, the Mpumalanga edition, where we showcase the many activities in our beautiful province. Let's begin by spending a luxurious night in first-class accommodation on a Boeing 737. This one doesn't fly, but she's classy, she's stylish, and she is VIP. Aerotel is an aviator's dream. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to experience the thrill of spending a night in a luxury first-class cabin on a Boeing 737? Apart from the gorgeous and sumptuous furnishings of the cabins, you also get unparalleled views of the African bushveld and the northern Drakensberg Mountains. And this all on the ground.
The hotel has gained a lot of popularity in terms of its uniqueness. We've had a lot of compliments about the engineering ingenuity that was applied, the interior, the attention to detail, and the reusing of most of the aeroplane. And I think that is potentially our biggest achievement, is this is easily a 90% recycling, eco-friendly project. So the first plane was acquired from a company in Johannesburg, close to OR Tambo. And it was quite a process in first readying the plane for transport. The fuselage was on one truck, all the wings and the tail pieces was on another, and then there was a container on the third truck, and that had all the internal components and the components that were removed off the aeroplane. Those were all stored in there. And that one we divided up into 6 cabins. We kept the cockpit complete, and we just mildly changed the guest toilet in the front, and then 6 cabins, and the back galley area we changed into our bar area where our ladies serve from. The second plane was a presidential VIP aeroplane to start off with. It's got beautiful walnut veneer, and we've used all the original coverings just by cleaning and buffing and working with the leather, because there's a lot of beautiful cream leather in there. Around the pool area, we reused some of the tires. We created some tables next to the sun lounges. Our floor in our business lounge area, those are aeronautical maps that were scanned, enlarged, printed on vinyl, placed on the floors, and then covered with a hard clear top. We opted for a tapas range, so it's all a lot of smaller, global kind of snacks, and it's a nice way to also not just sit and have one meal, but to have a variety. Variety, after all, is the spice of life, and just to sit around and have good conversation with friends.
What a lovely way to spend a weekend in Mpumalanga. Mpumalanga is well known as a top tourist destination, and with good reason. The Kruger Park and many private game reserves and the numerous natural splendours ensure that Mpumalanga is a world-class destination. Of course, tourism plays a major role in showing off these treasures. On the sofa with me today is Lisa Schreed, who has been in tourism for over more than 20 years. Welcome, Lisa.
Good afternoon, and thanks for having me.
Tell me, why is tourism such a big economic driver for South Africa?
Well, tourism has deep tentacles. Tourism, particularly in rural areas. But it's not only what the tourist might spend on an air ticket or an experience, or going up Table Mountain, or going on a zip line or whatever. It's also what they spend along the way.
You've been in tourism for 20 years. What are the new trends that you've seen developed over the last couple of years, especially past COVID?
Well, I think there are two trends that I think are worth talking about. The first one is the international trend, which I think is the desire for meaningful, sustainable, experiential tourism, where that mass market is becoming less and less important. People are wanting real, authentic experiences. They want to experience the great outdoors, fresh air, space, and so on. So people are seeking those kinds of experiences and adventures, which bodes well, actually, for our part of the world, because we are able to provide many of those authentic experiences. So I think that's probably the first trend. The second one, I think, which is very particular to South Africa, is the absolute bursting forth of new tourists, people who previously never travelled. And the growth in our black market and the middle of the market, South Africans getting out there, seeing their country, has been absolutely fantastic. And it's a very liberating experience for people because you're actually getting to experience the real thing.
An interesting thing for me is, having taken in consideration the trends that you've just discussed, how do you position your marketing? Say, for instance, you're in the industry. How do you position your marketing for the domestic market and then also for the international market, the global market?
You've got to take your greatest attributes and turn them into something that people then hunger for. So if you take our area, we are the great outdoors, safari, authentic, some history and culture. It's a place where you can bring your family. And intergenerational travel, another trend, not post-COVID, pre-COVID, but intergenerational travel is a big thing. So we're saying to people, in this part of the world, bring the kids, bring granny and grandpa if you want. You can travel. There are places that can accommodate you, and you can all experience the sort of natural wonder of this area.
Lisa, thank you so much for sharing some of your insightful knowledge about the tourism sector. I really appreciate that.
You're most welcome. Thank you.
For our last stop today, we go to what has been called the most beautiful place in the world. It has also been referred to as the place where you can touch the clouds. The Panorama Route is one of the most scenic and spectacularly beautiful places. You'll come across where you can visit the Sabi Falls, Burke's Luck potholes, and the most spectacular of all canyons, the Blyde River Canyon. But the route has so much more to offer, and it's right here in Mpumalanga.
The Panorama Route in Mpumalanga is a trip you simply cannot rush. It is one of the continent's great natural wonders and one of the world's most beautiful driving routes. If you're driving to or from the Kruger National Park, why not take a couple of days and explore the Panorama Route with its abundance of rivers, waterfalls, and natural rock formations. The many notable waterfalls include the Sabi Falls, which you can enjoy from the top, or if you're fit and adventurous enough, you can attempt the rough rocky trail to the bottom, where the view will have made it all worth the while. And of course, one of the most iconic landmarks is Burke's Luck potholes, with its extraordinary rock sculptures fashioned over millions of years. And did you know that water feature marks the start of the Blyde River Canyon? This canyon is the third largest and the greenest in the world. Looking down at the Blyde River as it snakes its way to the Blydepoort Dam, you cannot help but marvel at the sheer sublime beauty of it all. Of course, there are several other waterfalls such as the Macbuck Falls, a national monument which you can marvel at from its 70-meter high vantage point. Here, you can also shop for curios and have a braai. The Lisbon Falls, named after the capital of Portugal, is one of the highest with the most impressive falls of water, plunging down 94 meters. If you have the energy, you can follow the hiking trail to the base of the falls, where you can get a true appreciation of the force of water and get your clothes drenched at the same time. The Berlin Falls has been called the giant candle with a sheer cliff standing roughly 80 meters tall. Visitors can take a dip in the pool and enjoy a relaxing picnic. The panorama route isn't all waterfalls. There are beautiful, historic, quaint little towns along the way, such as Graskop, known for its many arts and craft shops and famous pancakes. It is the perfect town to use as a base to explore the many spectacular wonders, such as God's Window, which can only be described as lavish with its serene beauty and majestic cliffs. The view is akin to a spiritual experience, having inspired countless painters and photographers from all over the world. No trip along the panorama route would be complete without visiting the historic little town of Pilgrim's Rest. This was declared a national monument in 1986 and is a living reminder of the gold rush days of the late 1800s, offering the visitor a fascinating window into the past, capturing the spirit of a bygone era and its people in their quest for gold. But if looking at waterfalls then visiting historic towns isn't your thing, what about a strong injection of adrenaline as you fly across the gorge on a high wire zip line? You start by leaping off a 5-meter tower and ride 120-meter long zip line to the northern side of the gorge before zipping back along a second zip line. And for those wanting even more excitement, you can go on the Big Swing, one of the world's highest cable gorge swings, and launch yourself off the top of a waterfall. The panorama route really has something for everyone.